Hello and welcome to Cloud Tech Talks. My name is Pritesh. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the impact that COVID-19 has had on cloud technology adoption. So let's get started. The first point that I would like to talk about is more about the categories of technology that have been adopted in the last few months, right? So let's start with software as a service. Now, being the most simple form of technology from a subscription perspective, easy to understand, licensing, it's going to cost you a few dollars for a given month, for a given year. This has been the most widely asked for technology category, right? So what kind of solutions are we talking about? Collaboration solutions which allow you to connect with each other, that's a no-brainer, right? So people are contacting each other only online, leveraging tools such as Zoom and Teams and Blue Jeans and Google Hangouts, etc. So all of these provided on a subscription software as a service kind of a model for a given number of months or the entire year, right? So that's the first kind of tech. Secondly, it's got to do more with the collaboration for the documents and for the files that you use, the data that you use in the company, right? So what kind of solutions can be there in that category, right? Enterprise file sync and share solutions such as Dropbox for Business or OneDrive or Google Drive, for example. All of these solutions, they enable a customer to work from anywhere they want to, collaborate on any document that they have, etc., and really bring about that project execution seamlessly without having to be face to face with each other, right? So this is more from the software as a service side, more widely used technology from a software as a service side. On the infrastructure as a service, that's more interesting because people have had to really fire up a lot of virtual machines to leverage storage in the cloud or to leverage some of the key workloads that they use in their office remotely. So something as simple as virtual desktop infrastructure, something that never existed at your office earlier, suddenly you've had to deploy that, and that too on a cloud platform now, right? So companies are leveraging software solutions and hosting it on infrastructure as a service provider such as Google or Microsoft or AWS in order to bring about that agility from a virtual desktop infrastructure standpoint, so that you don't really have to provide thick clients or laptops for everybody to function, right? So because there was a massive workforce that existed in companies who never really used a laptop, right? They were always dependent on desktop computers, but now that offices are not really functioning the way they should, how else can you leverage technology, right? So this is on the infrastructure as a service side, one example that I wanted to give. And on the platform as a service side, that's also very interesting, right? A lot of companies across different industries have been forced to really take into account how they can develop applications or leverage existing business applications in order to improve the reach to their customers. So take an example of a retail organization. Earlier, people used to walk into their stores, buy stuff, whether it's garments or anything else that they wanted to buy from a retail shop, and now it's completely the other way around, right? So if you are able to reach people's homes via your application or via third-party applications and improve your reach with respect to your mobile application, your business will really thrive, right, during this period, because people will still want to shop, people will still want to buy the essentials of the day, but they are not going to risk it, like at least every person is not going to risk it going to a store and buy it physically, right? So a lot of retail organizations, they really brought about that transformation and leverage platform as a service to develop their own application or leverage a third-party ready-made application in order to reach customers, right? So that was the first real categorical area that I wanted to discuss with respect to the cloud adoption impact of COVID-19. The second point that I wanted to discuss was the increase that it has had in terms of cyber security threats. Now it's natural that wherever the user base fluctuates, whether it's on premise or on cloud, hackers will not stop, right? They will still try to get access to whatever information they can, whether it's personal, for their own benefit, or to sell online, right? So many of these companies, they've had to really assess the impact that adoption of technology has had, and assess the cyber security threat, right? A majority of these cases have been due to usage of weak internet connections, of a lack of secure VPN of sorts, or any such thing that protects you from securely accessing a specific business application which is really confidential for a given company. So that's more from the perspective of assessing the cyber security threat that exists from a perspective of cloud adoption. And the last point that I wanted to discuss was more on the lines of supporting the new business model, right? So in my last video, I spoke about how a lot of companies have taken the new business model into their stride and really transformed the way they're delivering services to their customers. I mentioned how some of the leading banks are providing home loans completely digitally, leveraging state-of-the-art technology, going through the full paperwork process, the signatures included, everything online, right? So this is a dynamic shift in the way you use technology and the way you serve your customers, and it really gives you that competitive edge. Now the need for cloud adoption has really taken one step further, the support that is needed for the longer term period in order for you to sustain that new business model, right? So whether you went down to a e-commerce route and went completely online with respect to how you serve your customers, is that e-commerce portal flexible enough to handle the workload of a maximized traffic during a festive month, or during a period where you are naturally bound to sell more, right? So how can your cloud technology model be more flexible, be more agile in order to support the needs of that specific new business model in the future? So these are the three high level points that I wanted to talk about. The first one, to summarize, I discussed the impact on cloud adoption with respect to the categories of technology, SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. I will really make a deep dive video into these different categories of technology and what are the leading solutions that people have adopted, so that you can learn more about that. Secondly, the increase in the assessment of cyber security threats, that's really taken precedence over anything, because security is the most important aspect of any organization leveraging confidential information of customers and companies out there. And the third point I discussed was the need for the cloud technology model to support the new business model and how flexible and agile it can be for the future, right? So these are the things that I wanted to talk about on a very high level. Until next time, this is Pritesh signing off from Cloud Tech Talks. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.